The 5'9" senior on the floor, number 2, Nicole Pinkney. A 5'7" senior number 3, Haley Fairfield. A 5'6" sophomore number 5 is Jasper Evans. The 5'8" senior number 13, John Idukovic. And a 5'10" senior number 4, Tamani Fernandez. Mr. Ryan McCarthy, in his 11th season, your head coach, assisted by Sheena Apollo.
Good afternoon on this cold and dreary Saturday outside, but all warm and cozy inside Marcus Pavilion. Sean Wiley alongside Scott Gladstone as we get set for GNAC action. The weekend of Alaska continues. The Seawolves here in Lacey. Scott?
The last game against the team from the last frontier. This should be a good one. It's an Anchorage team that's kind of on a down year and an SMU team that's feeling pretty hot after their last 2 wins. They got 2 in a row. And we'll see what they can do against Anchorage here.
Nice offensive rebound by Evans. Second possession, or a continuation of the first, I guess I should say. Nice drive in the lane. Fernandez with the first bucket, 2-0. Anchorage up early.
Yeah, Fernandez did a good job kind of hiding that, the arm bar kind of tucked around Lamette there to get her into position on the freshman, and then she made the layup on the right side.
Saints going to their freshman bread and butter. Sarah Lamette down low, ball out of bounds. It'll stay with the Saints. Was quite the new intro for St. Martin's. Lights went out. Thought the wind was causing havoc outside, but I guess not. 3 to shoot for St. Martin's. Galbraith baseline. I don't think she saw the shot clock, and she did not. Turnover back to the Seawolves.
Yeah, and that's something that you have when you have that late, fairly late in the shot clock air ball by Lamette. It went out of bounds off the Seawolves at 7 seconds on the shot clock, and they were unaware that they had only 7 seconds to get a shot off.
Both teams on the floor, victorious Thursday. We'll see which team continues that winning trend. Galbraith called for the foul.
Allowing her some hand checks when the refs do that, that really allows Galbraith to feast. They did that on Thursday night, and she led the GNAC in steals throughout GNAC women's basketball on Thursday night, and she really just feasted on the guards for Alaska Fairbanks.
Pinckney out top, 10 to shoot. They swing it around to the Seawolves. 4 to shoot. 2 seconds, a 3 on the way. Karam's off the rim, ball loose, out of bounds. Last touched by Anchorage. Saints basketball, Lauren Morris to inbound.
Yeah, I'm already enjoying watching the battle between Fernandez and Lamette there on the post. Fernandez, I mean, she's got half a foot on her, at least as the roster says, with Fernandez listed at 5'10 and Lamette at 6'4. But Fernandez, you could see that with the fight that she had against Lamette's box out there. She's gonna play bigger than she is and make the freshman work.
Galbraith, a 3 on the way. Splash! Saints take the lead just like that. 7:50 first quarter.
Galbraith is one of the leaders in the GNAC in three-point field goal percentage because she doesn't take it unless she's pretty dang wide open. And we see Fernandez right there on the other side.
Fernandez had good position, the good entry pass. 4-3, Seawolves back in front.
Lamette there fronting Fernandez, and they get it over Lamette. That's not an easy pass to make.
Saints with it. They get looking for Lamette in the lane. Quickly, she's collapsed on. She doesn't care. Shot won't go. Rebounds to St. Martin's. Jumper from the baseline's good. Chenoa Louis, 5-4. Saints back in front.
I think they're calling a delay game warning on Lauren Morris there. Got the ball as it was coming out of the hoop. She touched it. The interesting thing, though, now Lamette's starting to get circled on scouting reports coming in. She's hit that point, especially with the outing that we've seen the last couple times from her. You see her get the ball there at the top of the post. 3 different Seawolves collapse to her so that even when she takes the shot up, being triple teamed and misses it, Lauren Morris was there to get the rebound, gets out to Chenoa Louis, gets a halfway decent look at the basket.
Hajdukovic, 6'5", Alaska, Anchorage. Back and forth, first quarter. This game's setting up nicely. Could be a good one the whole way. Lamette, the quick right hand off window. Saints back in front. Evans had a big night Thursday at Western Oregon in the victory, and she's called for a carry.
Yeah, and a big part of that, of course, is the perimeter defense, but at the same time, Lamette there is, if you just watch her on a defensive possession, she's going down and she's putting in really hard work trying to front the post, and that's what they were looking for. They're seeing a key in on Lamette, probably trying at the very least get her into foul trouble, and she did really good on that possession. They had nothing to do when they couldn't get it down to the post.
Galbraith in the corner to Lamette, the right elbow. Jumper, off iron, rebound, comes down to the Seawolves there, streaking out. Evans into the lane, goes to the left side of the rim. No foul called on Lamette, to the delight of the Saints bench. Galbraith looking for Lamette, but the Seawolves were ready for it as well. Ball thrown out of bounds by Alaska Anchorage. That'll be Saints basketball with 5:40 left here in the first quarter. 7-6. Saints by 1. Oster is in for St. Martin's. Lauren Morris to inbound for the Saints. Anaya Moore in for the Seawolves. Galbraith, a nice drive, left baseline, off window and in. Saints by 3, 9-6, 5:26 left. Ryan McCarthy and the Seawolves want to talk things over. We'll step aside, see you on the other side of the timeout on the Saints Digital Network, brought to you by Pints Doghouse. Back inside Marcus Pavilion after the timeout. 9-6, Saints by 3. Seawolves basketball. See what head coach Ryan McCarthy drew up during the timeout. Rab is called for being fouled. A charge possible, but no. In the restricted area was clear. No, they're calling it on Rios. Rab to the line. First shot too strong.
Yeah, Rab, that's kind of weird. She missed a free throw there. 86% free throw shooter. She, throughout the year, has been the one consistently good player for Alaska Anchorage. 16.2 points per game as she makes the second. The thing that was really interesting, though, is that head coach Ryan McCarthy did not start her today. It was only the second game that she did not start. So kind of a weird wrinkle into his starting lineup. Of course, this is an Anchorage team that is down from recent years, so we'll see what they got.
Stolen away by the Seawolves. Streaking the other way is Rab. She had a big night Thursday. 14 points, 4 steals. There was a steal right there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she is kind of like Galbraith. The defense can lead to offense, and she does it great there, 9-9.
Was 9-6 Saints, quickly 9-9. Morris gets it free throw line, goes right side of the lane. Jumper is down. Saints back in front.
That was a pick and roll there. She got the mismatch, Lauren Morris did. Was playing with the smaller Rihanna Bay and then just took her to town in the key.
Seawolves looking to tie. Yet again. Robertson outside Rab. They swing it around. In front of the Saints bench now. 8 to shoot. Rab has it. 4 to shoot. The Seawolf bench is counting down. Shot at the buzzer is good by Rachel Ingram. Using every last second.
Yeah, that was just a clutch shot by Ingram. You couldn't ask for better defense from the Saints. With the shot clock winding down, they switched. They said, let's switch on all screens. That's exactly what Lauren Morris did. She stayed right in the grill of Ingram, but Ingram still made her pay.
Morris is feeling the jumper. That's 2 in a row. 13-11 Saints. Seawolves getting ready for their hockey-type line change coming up. Coach Ryan McCarthy does that a lot throughout the game. Nice step in the lane, but can't convert. Offensive rebound, no. Saints recover. And Galbraith's pass too strong. It'll be out of bounds to the Seawolves.
Yeah, I'm sure Ibrahim and David there love those hockey subs that they're doing. That is hard to do from a stats perspective. But you know, the thing that when I was talking to Lauren Morris yesterday, she talked a lot about this Alaska Anchorage team. When they are on, they will run you into the ground. As we see Christy Martin questioning something here. They're not going to let Sarah Lamette check in. No, they are. That was weird because there were 6 players on the floor when the ball was put into play, but it was partially the ref's fault.
Ryan McCarthy calling motion for his Seawolves. Hajdukovic, the 3, will not go. Rebound to the Saints and Galbraith. 2:50 left in a fun first quarter. Galbraith, right-hand dribble. Now switches to the left. Picks up the dribble. And another steal. Evans the other way, the nice behind-the-back dribble. Evans gets it back. A lot of time left on the shot clock. 3 out of the corner in front of the Saints bench, just rims out. Morris the rebounds.
That defensive possession was a lot different from Fernandez. She really wasn't trying to post up Lamette at all on the block. I think a big part of that is trying to play defense on Lamette. I think she was just worn from the defensive side. Didn't really see the same that we saw out of the gates on her offensive side.
Galbraith picks up the dribble, finds Morris the right elbow, and she is quickly fouled. Foul by Evans.
They just called that under the basket on Fernandez guarding Lamette, actually. I thought Lauren Morris got fouled too. She might have got slapped on the wrist as well, but the foul goes against Evans.
Good catch, Scott, and there off the inbounds. A 3 for Rio, 16-11. St. Martin's quickly up 5. Nice pass, nice movement without the basketball to Evans. Layup good. 3-point ball game. And a foul in the backcourt. That'll be on Pinckney. .90 seconds left in quarter number 1. 4 10-minute quarters in women's basketball. Galbraith swings it to her open teammate. Another 3, feeling it from deep. Kiana Rios. And Scott Gladstone is shocked in silence.
Yeah, well, that was just a great play drawn up.
Morris, the rebound off the miss from Burfield. Cross half court, the Saints go. Morris, inside a minute now. Sarah Lament, too hard, off the iron. Rebound to Pinckney. Evans, between the leg dribble, working on Morris, under the basket. The open teammate in the lane, layup good. That's Hajdukovic, 4-point ball game.
Great find by Evans there. That was really good to just see Hajdukovic crash in the lane and find her for the easy shot.
Nice drive baseline by Rio. She's feeling it from all over the floor tonight. Seawolves can hold for the final shot if they choose, but they don't do anything slow, and they won't there. Evans drive, falls to the floor, won't go. Saved inbounds, but right to the Saints. 2 seconds on the clock. Galbraith notices, drives in the lane. She is fouled before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Galbraith initially knew how much time was left on the clock.
She didn't until she got to the 3-point line. You could see her pop her eyes up and, oh, I better move.
She was looking over and getting a play from Christy Martin, or saying, what should I do, coach? Or something like that. There was some sort of communication where I think Christy was just screaming and pointing at the clock. And, yeah, they're just going to review how much time was remaining right now. But that was the communication between Galbraith and Coach Christy Martin. Christy Martin said something that said, get a move on. She turned, she looked, and that was right when she was at the 3-point line. She had enough time, and we've seen her so many times when the shot clock is running down, when the team needs a bucket, just attack the rim and see what you can get, whether it's a foul or a bucket. And that's just what she does so well. And now she'll get 2 shots because she definitely got fouled before the buzzer went off. We're just going to see if they're going to put a couple milliseconds on the clock.
Looked like there should be roughly 1 second, maybe just under, to the naked eye in real time.
Yeah, one of the interesting stats from this first quarter.
We've got producer Sydney taking a look at it. See what
replay?
She thinks compared to what the officials are seeing downstairs.
Yeah, it's going to be less than a second. I'm pretty sure, if at all, they might just let her shoot 2 untimed one. What's interesting about this first quarter is really the Saints have not allowed a lot of 3 balls. I think part of that is they are switching a lot on screens. The 3-point shot is a healthy part of the Seawolves diet. They shoot 30% from behind the arc. They make on average, a couple more 3s per game than their opponent. And so, it's something considering they've only shot 3 3s and they've missed all 3 of them right now. The Saints on the other side, they've had Kiana Rios dial it up twice from 3-point land and Angel Galbraith do once. And it looks like we're going to get 2 shots with 0.9 seconds left.
Man, gold star for me. I said right around a second.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I
was
said
paying attention
under
for
a
once.
second, so it was, I think we were both right. Under second, around a second, 0.9. Plenty of time to get off a full court heave, I guess.
You've mentioned many times one of the better free throw shooters in the conference. Sinks one right there.
Yeah, she's taken, I check it every once in a while. She's taken 117 free throws this year. Next closest is at 59, I believe, in the conference in terms of free throws taken. She misses the second one there, though.
And that's how we end a furious, fast-paced first quarter here in Lacey. The home Saints lead it 22-15 over Alaska Anchorage. Back with the second quarter after this on the Saints Digital Network, brought to you by Pints Doghouse. Back here inside Marcus Pavilion in Lacey, Washington, on the campus of St. Martin's University. Sean Wally with Scott Gladstone, as well as the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves and the St. Martin Saints. 22-15 Saints after 10 minutes of play. 10 more till we reach halftime.
Yeah, it was a great first half from the Saints. You know, I've already said it a couple times. This is not the Anchorage team of old, but, you know, Ryan McCarthy still has a very good strategy that will work. Where he'll kind of run you into the ground, and he has a deep roster as we get a jump ball here with Morris and Evans fighting over it. But, you know, in a blink of an eye with the way that Anchorage plays, the way that McCarthy game plans, the game can flip. The Saints are going to start this second quarter in a 1-3-1 zone.
And the pace of play from Ryan McCarthy's Seawolves is always fast, always moving, which is why he does the full team substitutions a lot. We'll see if the Saints can keep up and not get tired out, because they don't normally play as many players on the bench.
Well, and that's one of the nice things about maybe playing a zone. Maybe that's why Christie just moved into it there, is because in theory it does lower kind of your movement, your fatigue levels, because you all just have a zone to go into rather than running and chasing your players all around the court.
Lamette, the quick turnaround, falls through the hoop. Ryan McCarthy wants to talk things over with his team. Down 9, Saints 24, Seawolves 15. Back after this on the Saints Digital Network, brought to you by Pints Doghouse. 9:05 left in quarter number 2. Sean Wally here with Scott Gladstone, Marcus Pavilion, St. Martin's University in Lacey, Washington, the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves with the ball down 9. St. Martin's got the win Thursday night. They have now 2 on the conference season. Galbraith with it, and an offensive foul, and hopefully not an injury as Louie is down. But she gets up and is able to jog the other way, but she will come out of the game. Lauren Morris back in.
Yeah, there's a lot of Saints that are playing. They're playing really tough out there because they picked up some knocks in the early season. We were here for that opening exhibition where no starters from last year were playing in that game. And, you know, key players like Shanoa Louie, Ryan Clear, Lauren Morris, they were all out of that game. And, you know, Shanoa Louie and Ryan Clear are 2 of the players for sure on this squad that could teach a class in toughness and, you know, just mind over matter because they play out here with bumps and bruises throughout the season.
Evans to Hajdukovic. Good ball movement. Look at the quickness on the drive, but hitting the bottom of the rim, not going to do it for you. The miss. Saints the other way. 8:20 left in quarter number 2. Lauren Morris. Ball above the head to Galbraith. In the corner, the jumper baseline, the miss by Louie. Back come the Seawolves. Down 9. Forearm not called. Getting Lamette on the fake. Shot missed by Rab. Galbraith. Her team up by 9. Christy Martin's got to be happy with the score at this point, but not with that, although Saints able to recover. Louie has it. Galbraith now. Drives, flips it up, hits iron, and out of bounds. Last touch by the Seawolves.
It's going to give him a fresh 20. That was a bad screw-up to have on that rebound there.
Seawolves, a bit of a head scratcher on the season. They're 12-5, but just 4-4 in conference, getting to 500 in conference after the win Thursday night in Monmouth. Galbraith, baseline, window, and in.
Just a great job. We saw Angel Galbraith 3 times on that possession, drive the lane and have a decent look. Right back at it, though, Evans puts it in herself.
See, these Seawolves, they don't even allow us time to talk. They're moving.
No.
Not that they give 2 hoots about us. 7 minutes left in quarter number 2, 26-17. Galbraith to Morris. Right back to Galbraith. Back to Morris. 5 to shoot. Out top is clear for 3. Good rotation, but it's off iron. Fernandez the rebound. Seawolves, surprise, running. Evans with it, guarded by Galbraith. Evans in the lane. What a pass, what vision on the move. The 3 out of the corner won't go. There is a foul on the floor on St. Martin's.
Yeah, I think they're calling Ryan Clear right here for holding during the box out. I don't know about that one. I'm always a fan of a good box out. I was watching the battle. I think it looked a little bit awkward, but apparently just did not allow the player to get around her, which you have to give way and allow to do.
Still a 9-point lead for the Saints. Morris will defend at the baseline, just standing there. Not facing the inbounds. Interesting.
Heels were right on the line, too. I was kind of worried that she might get called for something there.
She steps back at all, leans back. 7 to shoot. The quick drive in the lane, going high off the window is Haley Burfield. What a drive.
Yeah, that was over Sarah Lamette, too. That is a very difficult shot to make. What a great job to get that one to go from the California native. 7-point
ball game. Saints up early. Pass to Lamette, too high, but good recovery by Reed. Ryan Clear, 6 to shoot. Clear, driving, double team, good defense. Seawolves come away with it. Ingram in front of the Saints bench. Moore has it. Ooh, they had Fernandez open for a second.
They did. Sarah Lamette got switched onto a guard, and she did not want to be guarding a guard.
Open for 3. Too much arc on that one. Rebounds to St. Martin's, and Ryan Clear is fouled.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those interesting times for the Saints. Angel Galbraith, for all that she leads the GNAC in terms of the leading assister, the leading stealer, and she's also top 30, especially for a point guard, in rebounds, which is pretty impressive. She also is the leader in minutes played by quite a bit. She has, on average, 3 more minutes played than the next closest player. When she's off the floor, like that last offensive possession, the Saints kind of seemed a little out of whack. They, didn't really have somebody to go to it. And same there, Galbraith is just so much of the facilitator, and she's such a constant on the floor for him.
Not exactly the entry pass you want there. Wide open down low. Saints with 3 to shoot. Ball out of bounds. It'll be St. Martin's ball, but 1 second on the shot clock.
Yeah, they need to be very aware of it. It's really tough in the first half or in the second quarter here when they're playing on the other side of the floor. And see, here's another situation where I think Galbraith usually the one taking that out. Kind of some confusion of who's doing it. Absolutely no idea, and that's
awareness.
You just have to have a shot up there. I don't care if it's a horrible shot. It probably will be a horrible shot, but you got to get one up.
4:42 and counting. 7-point lead still for St. Martin's. Seawolves looking to inch closer. Bearfield looking down low, throws it away, too high for Robertson.
And there's Galbraith's break. She will, unless this turns into maybe a blowout one way or the other, I don't think she's going to leave the floor for the rest of the night.
Lauren Morris to inbound for St. Martin's. They look to add to their 7-point advantage. Morris across half court. Nobody's going to stop her. She'll take the jumper. Rattles off. Rebounds to the Seawolves. Oh, very close to an over and back there, but fouled, hitting the 3. Seawolves in the corner, knocked down, and that is Evans dropping the triple. .22 points now for the Seawolves, 4 behind St. Martin's. Evans converts. Just like that, a 3-point ball game.
Yeah, I mean, they could sting you in a hurry. We've talked about it, and that's the problem. We've seen that a couple times, a reach called when Galbraith's bringing it up. The problem is the Seawolves are reaching with their wrong hand there. It looks so clearly like a foul when you reach with your right hand when you're reaching across the body of yourself and the player you're trying to take the ball from. And Galbraith's too good of a ball handler to allow them to do that without making it seem obvious they're fouling.
Lauren Morris with it as we are under 4 minutes left in the first half. Another entry pass you kind of scratch your head about.
Yeah, I mean, Lamette has turned it on the last couple weeks. We know that. That's been clear. As tie game.
A 7-0 run for the Seawolves as they tie it at 26. 3:44 left. We'll catch our breath and come back on the other side of the timeout on the Saints Digital Network. Seawolves have stormed back. Scott, you've been doing due diligence. What was the run the Seawolves are on, or what is the run?
It's 11-0 right now. It was 26-15 Saints with 7:26 to go. Now here we are 4 minutes later. It's a tie game. 11 straight points from the Seawolves.
Let's see how the Saints respond. This time the pass to Lamette is a good one. She lays it up and in. Saints up 2.
Yeah, they're just, I mean, that play has worked really well for the Saints. They just sent a ton of screens on the baseline there, and eventually Lamette gets open.
Nicole Pickney apparently for 3. A 2 on the jersey, not a 3. But it was a 3-pointer.
Yes, it was.
Seawolves back in front after a drought of missing the lead. It's now 29-28, Alaska Anchorage.
That's their last lead since it was 2-0, I believe. Maybe that's wrong. No. I had it for a second, and then it changed on me. Their largest lead has been 2 points, though.
Lauren Morris, the inbounds. Ooh, Morris, the hard screen, no foul called. Lamette has it. Her and Morris a little too close together. Lamette back to clear. 5 to shoot. Morris, the dribble, picks it up. 2 seconds left. Galbraith has to shoot. She does, and she's fouled. Wow, what a bailout by the Seawolves.
Yeah, that's what it's like, Kevin. Angel Galbraith on the floor, and you know, Christy sometimes, I think they're gonna review it to see if it was before the buzzer when the foul occurred. But you know, Christy Martin talks about having Angel Galbraith on the floor with her, that it's kind of like having another one of you out on the floor. That's how important she is, and that's that basketball IQ that Christy Martin looks for in a player. And right there, shot clock running down. Like I said when the shot clock ran out last time, it's not about getting up a shot that's going to go in all the time. It's about getting something up, and seemingly she got up and at least got fouled, and we'll get two shots at the line.
9-28. Seawolves have stormed back, which Storms, hey, they see him a lot in Alaska. And Ryan McCarthy, known for his defense and his play style he calls mayhem. Some absolutely great conditioning. His players have to be just relentless on the cardio.
Yeah, and it's tough too. I'm sure at points, luckily in the GNAC, they're not really playing at elevation much. I can't think of what the highest elevation would be. But I'm sure if they ever take a trip to some of those RMAC schools too, it'd be really interesting to see how the UAA mayhem fares, because, you know, I went to school in Colorado Springs where D2 UCCS is, and that's over a mile high. And the schools, there's plenty of breathe deeply signs, essentially. And that's when you can really get dogged. But if you're a team that's conditioned as well as UAA is, and you can get the other team to play to your format, then you're going to really be looking good.
Seawolves, some of their nice victories on the season. Non-conference wins, Hawaii Pacific, Chaminade, UC Riverside, all impressive. Here in the GNAC, they lost to MSU Billings, but then had a 3-game winning streak in early December, beating Seattle Pacific in conference. Lost to Western Washington just before the new year, beat Simon Fraser on New Year's Eve. Lost to their in-state rival Alaska Fairbanks, lost at Central Washington. Beat Northwest Nazarene on the 14th of January, and on Thursday beat Western Oregon 69-61. Kind of a roller coaster season for the Seawolves, but 12-5 overall. Got to be pleased with that.
Yeah, and I think there was 2 scores that stuck out to us. One, I think we were broadcasting a game. Yeah, it was December 29th. We were broadcasting the St. Martin's men's team, and we saw it was 104-51 against Western Washington. They battle with Western Washington. Western Washington, one of the best teams in the country, no doubt. But losing by 50, I am not going to be one to want to hear what Ryan McCarthy had to say in the locker room after that one. And then the other one was, of course, the loss to Alaska Fairbanks, which was their first loss against their cross-state rivalry since 2007. And that's a streak you don't want to see the end of. There's another streak on the line tonight as St. Martin's has lost 13 in a row to Alaska Anchorage.
Ryan McCarthy's done great things with the Seawolves. They spent a lot of time at the top of the GNAC, which in the last couple years taken over by Western Washington. They went on their national title run last season, national runner-ups. And it's scary. They look even better.
Yeah, they look even better. I mean, they played really good. St. Martin's gave them a great game. As I don't know why Fernandez went for that one. It didn't. There was maybe some contact, but here's a replica situation of what we had just a few minutes ago. 1 second left. Let's see if Angel Galbraith on the floor can drop something better, and she is the one taking the inbounds pass.
We heard some people shouting 1 second. Let's hope all the five on the floor know this. Morris gets it up, but they say not in time. Shot clock violation. Saints 30. Seawolves 29, a minute 45 left in the half.
Yeah, at least that wasn't as rough to watch as it was when they just kind of sat on the ball and let the clock run out last time they had an inbounds with 1 second left.
Hajdukovic in the lane, has a step on clear, the window, and in. Galbraith to Lamette. Lamette on Fernandez. That'll be a must-see TV. Nice spin by Clear, hangs, can't get it to fall. Morris the rebound. Seawolves all around her. She doesn't care, muscles it up. Lauren Morris, what a job.
Lauren Morris. She plays so much bigger than she is. I mean, she is listed on the roster at 5'9", but she goes under there and she battles. She's the leader in rebounds for the Saint squad this season. And when you're at 5'9" and you're leading the Saint squad, that means that you're battling a lot. And she, you know, gets beat up down there, but when she gets an offensive board like that, one power dribble to kind of send a message, then put the ball in the bucket and put yourself on the free throw line to give the Saints a 2-point lead.
This has been an impressive half of basketball by both teams. Saints playing really well, definitely on the uptick. Same with the Seawolves, getting back on track in Western Oregon. Wide open, not taking the shot, but driving the baseline, hitting the bottom of the backboard is Moore. Saints up 2. Galbraith driving strong, left hand. Shot is short, but she is fouled. Free throws on the way.
Yeah, she drives to that left side, and then a lot of times, especially when she knows she can get it, she goes up with that right hand, which allows you a bigger chance of being blocked and getting contact on it, you know, whatever. But at the same time, if the defender's playing incorrectly, then it allows a lot higher chance of them fouling you, or at least it looking like a foul, and you getting to book your ticket to the charity stripe.
3-point lead for St. Martin's after the made free throw. One more for Galbraith, and it's perfect. About a second and change differential game and shot clock. A quick three, not even close, just grazes the far side of the rim. That was Ingram with the miss. Saints can hold for the final shot. 15 seconds. Morris. She was feeling it a moment ago. The step back jumper, just short. 3 seconds. But somehow Clear steals it away, lays it up and in, and St. Martin's explodes to a 6-point lead in the final minute.
Sean, there is a lot that Ryan McCarthy is not going to be happy about that happened there. First of all, I don't know if this is his philosophy. This is my first time seeing Alaska Anchorage in person, but there, you mentioned when they were bringing down the floor, 1 second differential between game and shot. They really, I know they're a fast-paced squad. I know they want to get up open looks, but they did not try and bleed the the clock down for last shot. That is rule number one, that almost all the time, unless you get a wide open layup, you take that shot with under 10, preferably even 5 to go when you're running it down. Number two, they got the miss on the other side, and then I don't know what player it was, but she grabbed the ball, she was falling out of bounds, and then she threw it back. When you're under your defensive basket, you never throw it back. And, yeah, we'll take a look here. You see the missed shot from Lauren Morris. And then the defensive rebound, and you never throw it that.
Sarah Lament.
There was
tip it.
Yeah. That's rule number one, especially in a moment like that. You've seen that when the clock is running down, they've struggled on the inbounds pass. You force 2 shot clock violations because of that. Do not, when there's 2 SMU players standing behind you, you can't throw the ball in under your own defensive basket. That's an easy way to give away a free layup, and that really stinks when there's no time on the clock and you give away a buzzer beater. Those are 2 kind of fundamental mistakes that they made there that I'm sure Ryan McCarthy is going to be banging his head against the wall in the locker room.
Well, both coaches and their teams in the locker room. We'll see what the second half has in store. Refill your beverage, heat up the popcorn, maybe grab an early dinner. We'll be back in about 12, 13 minutes with the second half. Give you some numbers, and we'll see what the final 20 minutes has in store. Saints in the lead, 37-31. Halftime in Lacey on the Saints Digital Network.
I do believe that was 7. Might have been 6. Scott O'Brien. Hey, she has way off. Our intrepid athletic director, Scott O'Brien. Steve O'Brien getting that set for us. All right. 60 seconds on the clock. This will be Kaylee and Yuan on your set. Ready, set, go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Not going to the stands. Tied at 8. 9. 10, go for the school record. 11. 12. 13, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, though, you win the Pines Courthouse gift certificates coming soon. With a total of 13, thank you. You've won both gift cards to Pines Doghouse. Thanks for playing and make sure to support Pines Doghouse opening soon. We're located right here in Lacey across Call Street from the SMU campus. And as always, go! Saints ball. Foul on the Saints, number 1, Angel Galbraith. That is her third personal foul. Since first in the third quarter, it will be Seagulls ball. Three-pointer for Nicole Pickney. Number 4, Anaya Moore, on number 14, Kate Robertson, wearing concealed. That's touched by the Saints. Number 3, Haley Derfield, wearing concealed, will replace Michelle Rad. Kate Robertson. hit the line for 2 shots for the Saints number 15, Sarah Lamette.
Lauren Morris, when she gets aboard and she does that power dribble, I mean, it's almost like a superhero or something, that their superpower is throwing something against the ground and the earth just shattering around it. It is kind of a warning shot. And then she, puts up a decent effort. And the problem is that when she plants that power dribble down there, 3 different green jerseys consumed her, and that allowed Sarah Lamette an easy rebound and putback opportunity on the other side.
Lamette knocks them both down, 43-38, 5:27 here in the third quarter. Do the Seawolves answer back? They trail by 5. Hajdukovic behind the back dribble. Evans for 3. Off iron, offensive rebound to the Seawolves. Right back to Evans. Another 3 in front of the Seawolves bench. You can't give them extra opportunities. Pickney for 3.
Yeah, big second chance opportunity. And again, that was Evans on the floor with her dribbling ability, creating that extra space and then allowing it. And right now, actually, that ball ended up with Tierney Didonitis, who had some words of coaching for her point guard there that I'm sure she's coached a lot, trying to ask for a better pass.
4:53 left, third quarter. Saints 43, Seawolves 41. Back in a jiffy on the Saints Digital Network.
Athletics business profiles support all 15 intercollegiate athletic programs. To learn more about possible sponsorship and advertising opportunities with Saints Athletics, please contact Director of Athletics Steve O'Brien at 360-688-2855, or just go to the smu.edu website, go to athletics, and you'll find them very quickly.
After the timeout, 2-point ball game. Saints 43, Seawolves 41. Sean Wally with Scott Gladstone here in Lacey, Washington. These 2 GNAC schools doing battle. It's been a fun one this far. Back and forth battle. Saints were up 6. You can hear Ryan McCarthy wanting a 3-second call, and officials finally agree. .435 left. Sarah Lamette with the nice defense. That height on display.
Yeah, no way that ball is getting in there on the front, and that's why you have a player like Sarah Lamette. I mean, just an easy denial.
Ryan Clear to Lamette. Morris. Galbraith. Lamette. Fernandez on her. 7 to shoot. Clear will. And hit.
Ryan Clear, during that last timeout, had her back in a brace, and then she takes it off, comes out here, and does what she does. I mean, it's just phenomenal sometimes, her toughness.
Look at the defense by Lamette. The block.
They had the roll on Morris there.
Rios picks up the dribble, finds Lamette, not where she should be, way out top. Galbraith.
She has a big mismatch with Pickney on her, though.
It's a clear. They're looking for Lamette. She goes right to the rim. Ball doesn't like it. 4-point game. Back come the Seawolves. Evans with Lamette on her, just gets rejected. A 3 on the recovery by Rab. 1-point game.
Yeah, and that's where, you take a look at the block. It worked out really well for about a half second, and then they said, oh, well, I guess we can't get a shot over Sarah Lamette. We'll just take a three. Rab flushes it down. We're at a 1-point game.
Inside 3 minutes left, third quarter. Rios back to Galbraith. Rios, a long three. Bang.
Kiana Rios, I mean, they went into a zone. Alaska Anchorage did of some sort there. Kiana Rios had some space. She said, well, I'll just settle it in my hands, take the shot.
Back to a 4-point lead. Evans the drive, the kick in the corner, the answer, no. Offensive rebound to the Seawolves. They reset.
Yeah, Fernandez came up. I think she got her ankle stepped on there. Maybe she rolled her ankle, but she immediately was coming up limp there, and that's a good stoppage by the official to recognize that and say, I'm sure that they would rather be able to take their player that is possibly injured off the floor than, not have to do an inbounds pass and maybe injure her further.
Seawolves inbound. They trail by 4. Anaya Moore, the quickness. Outside they go to Fairfield, excuse me. Hajdukovic in the lane. What a drive.
Yeah, just tuck it and go to the bucket. Hajdukovic. Nobody was in the key. It was a great offense where all five were pretty much out of the way. So as soon as she got the step, then she was able to take it to the rack, lay it in. 2
minutes remaining third quarter. And a 2-point ball game. Lots of twos. Line clear. 22. It continues. Sarah Lamette, the drive, short on the shot. Seawolves can tie or take the lead. Instead of the 3, looking for a foul, they won't get it. Get it outside to Moore. Awkward looking jumper from 16, but the Seawolves save it. Oh, good rebound and good effort. 1:20 left, third quarter. Moore, the jumper, rattles home.
Tie game.
Ball game.
Yes, sir. Rana Bay should get a lot of credit for that one. She went and hustled that ball down in there in the corner and allowed her team the second chance opportunity.
Angel Galbraith knocking players over. No whistle, can't connect. Final minute of the third quarter. Seawolves can take the lead back. They trailed by 6 at the half. Fairfield, her jumper won't go. Another offensive rebound for the Seawolves. Ooh, they thought about a 3 instead. Getting instruction from head coach Ryan McCarthy.
And he tells him to be patient with it, something maybe he should have yelled out louder at the end of the second quarter.
Moore drives the floater off back iron. Ball out of bounds to St. Martin's. The Seawolves have not led since the second quarter. 1:03 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, and that was right when the Saints finished on a 7-0 run to end the first half. Went into the locker room with a 6-point lead. Now they're just trying to get into the fourth with some sort of lead. They'll be able to run the clock down here.
Shot clock is off. Saints can hold on to it for the final shot if they choose. Seawolves, to this point, have outscored the Saints by 6 in the quarter to tie it. 6 left in the quarter. Moore with 2. The jumper from the left elbow is down and in. The Seawolves come storming back in the third. Outscore the Saints by 8. Woo!
Yeah, and I ragged the clock management at the end of the second by the Seawolves. That's kind of, a big mistake they made that led to the point going into the locker room for the Saints. Right on the other side, Saints, they started that play with 13 seconds or something on the clock. They forced the ball into Sarah Lamette with 10 seconds left on the clock. They gave the Seawolves plenty of time to come down the court, get a decent look, and Christy Martin has to be not very happy with how that played out because that was just the exact same thing that we saw in the second quarter, just starting it too soon. You always want to protect the last shot because then you guarantee your team at least a tie game going into the fourth. Instead, you give yourself a 2-point deficit going into the final frame.
We got a great ball game. Call, text, get a hold of somebody. Tell them you're missing some great basketball. Seawolves 50, Saints 48, fourth quarter next on the Saints Digital Network. Here we go. Final 10 minutes to decide this one. It's been a great ball game so far, no matter who you are rooting for. Seawolves up 2. They begin with the ball. They can add to that 2-point lead. They want 3 right away, and they get it from Rachel Ingram. 53-48.
Huge way to start the quarter, and it's really deflating for the Saints to come out of the quarter just like that to allow a big shot.
Lamette, top of the key to Morris. Ryan clear now. Galbraith, 5 on the shot clock. She'll drive left side of the lane, run into the Seawolves players. No whistle till the ball goes out of bounds. They say it is Saints ball with 3 on the shot clock. Louis returns for the Saints, clear to the bench. Lauren Morris off window, 53-50 Seawolves. One minute gone by in the final quarter. Moore, nowhere to go. Finds Bearfield, back to Moore. 9 on the shot clock. 5 now. Moore, hands off, gets it back. 3, 2 on the shot clock. Moore throws up a prayer, and it hits nothing, I think.
Yeah, they usually just blow that dead and do an inbounds there, but I guess they said Lauren Morris had retained possession of it before the clock expired, so.
Galbraith picks up the dribble. Ball nearly stolen away. Good defense by Bay. Wholesale changes for the Seawolves. Good to see Fernandez back out there. She's probably a little sore, but good enough to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a grind to the finish for whoever can last this one out. It'll be interesting to see how many rotations we do see from head coach Ryan McCarthy, especially considering he started the second half with a different lineup that he finished the first half.
What a pass from Galbraith to a wide open Lauren Morris. 1-point game. Nice drive left side of the lane, but not getting the shot to fall is Rab. Ball out of bounds to the Seawolves. Bay, the long jumper. Off iron, there's Lamette, the rebound. Saints can get the lead back. Back and forth we go. You don't want to get trapped by this defense, that is for sure. Rios looking for Lamette. Outside, Galbraith, a 3. Saints now up 2.
Yeah, Angel Galbraith, I said it the first time she hit a 3. When she gets an open look, man, sometimes she seems automatic from behind the arc, even though that's not her bread and butter.
Jumper from the left elbow. Pinckney answers. Tie ball game.
Neither team is going to let this one get away easy, man. This is going to be an exciting one down the stretch.
Seven minutes left. Both teams want this one. Be a good win for the Seawolves, a better win for the Saints. 4 to shoot, looking for Lamette, and a turnover.
Yeah, I mean, I love that they're looking for Lamette on every possession. They really should look for Lamette on every possession, no matter who's guarding her. Maybe the Central Washington game is the one game that I might correct that statement, but, I mean, you still have to balance that with not forcing it to her. And, you know, I worry about a possession like that where it seems like you might just be trying a little bit too hard to get to the rock.
Who's going to get the lead back? Tied at 55. Seawolves in front of their own bench. Hajdukovic has been quiet in the second half, but there's an assist. Kate Robertson gives the Seawolves back the lead.
Yeah, they've really been working Lamette down the defensive side. with a lot of those drives and forcing her to come out and help, and then they've facilitated really well whoever's been playing guard for the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves, because they've just been finding the open player and hitting down those bunny shots.
Galbraith looking down low, whistles as Rios collides. And a foul on Alaska Anchorage. Hajdukovic hit with the foul. That is her third.
Yeah, she was infringing upon Rios there on the reception, is what they're going to say.
.553 left, fourth quarter. In this great GNAC battle, Saints trying to tie the game, possibly take the lead, and they want the lead, and they get it. Ryan clear, 58-57. Pendulum swung yet again.
Yep, back to the red and white, but now the green. Tries to punch back.
Vocal crowd here inside Marcus Pavilion. Rab strong to the rack. Seawolves by one.
There was a couple Saints that got their hands on that too. Maybe Avery Oster got a hand in there, kind of started to affect the shot, but Rab just so strong with the ball, still able to get right through it.
Galbraith now triple teamed. Open, another three. Splash it goes.
Shanoa Louie, that is not a shot that you see her take a lot when it's going down from her for three-point land. Man, we might see Sarah Lamette start pulling up from distance.
4:50 left. The drive, the kick, but a foul called on St. Martin's.
Yeah, nearly traveled there to Jasper Evans, but just a good job by her continuing to use her dribbling to create space. Anchorage doing a really good job to continue to fight back. We'll see what they come out of this timeout with.
4:50 left. A barn burner in Lacey. Come on back. Saints by 2 on the Saints Digital Network. Seawolves ball out of the timeouts. They trail by 2 in a game that has gone back and forth. Looking to tie or take the lead. Driving the lane, too strong with the shot. Offensive rebound to the Seawolves, Fernandez, and she is fouled. Aggressive on the offense. First the miss, Fernandez the rebound. Avery Oster hit with the foul. That is her first. Kamani Fernandez, the senior, out of Hawaii. Big free throw. Down it goes. 1-point ball game. To tie the ball game, and she does. Saints, can they retake possession? Lauren Morris open in the lane, the floater, she left it short. She had a great look. Traveling should be called and is, to the delight of the Saints faithful. .4:10 left in what is gearing up to be a great finish and an instant classic. Morris open. Instead, she looked to pass. 3, too strong. Rebound goes to the Seawolves. Hajdukovic had it. Evans off the screen. Back to Hajdukovic. 10 to shoot for the Seawolves. We're knotted at 61. They want a 3. That's short. Lauren Morris, the rebound. .320 left. Tied at 61. Lauren Morris outside, clear. 3 on the way. She is fouled. Shot won't go. Cleared. Not feeling good on the floor.
Yeah, that's the danger of kind of the infringement of the cylinder there when somebody's shooting, is they can come down really bad on their lower body, and Ryan Clear is limping really hard right now. Christy Martin's going to come check with her. But these are 3 big free throws from Ryan Clear, who, you know, I've mentioned it plenty of times before, injuries have kind of limited her time on the floor this season, but she's only missed 3 free throws all season.
And now Clear does sit down. Not a good sign. She's going to have to check out.
Well, and the thing is there is she's going to get a valiant applause from everybody for the work that she's put in, both on Thursday night and tonight as well. And, you know, it's not a bad thing. Hopefully she's okay, but because she really does seem banged up there. But what you got to do there, if you're Christy Martin, is you get a sub in your best free throw shooter on the team. Kiana Rios, one of the best free throw shooters in the conference, 92%. So in the end, hopefully Clear's okay, but you got to even raise your chances more from the line, putting in a freshman who rarely misses from the charity stripe.
And not an easy thing to do, come in cold off the bench. Go make 3 free throws, and she does. Yeah,
closing pitcher mode right there, right? Throw 3 pitches, all 3 strikes, strike somebody out. It's good stuff.
Saints back up 3, and now they commit a foul.
Yeah, that was Lauren Morris. They said that she held up Hajdukovic there. Hajdukovic, excuse me. They're trying to slice through kind of on the baseline. Fairly soft for what we've seen because we've allowed to see the players play a little bit, but no call there is big.
Ball loose on the floor. Saints come away with it. Galbraith doesn't have numbers, doesn't care, drives the lane, can't get the shot to fall. Evans, good defense.
Yeah, really good. Angel Galbraith just tried to kind of trick her and make her think that she was pulling it out, but then went for it, didn't get the foul call, and didn't get the shot to go.
Seawolves want a tie, but that's a long 2. That is Evans dropping that. 64-63, 2:18 left.
Yeah, McCarthy loves the made shot, I'm sure, but he also hates that it was the worst shot in basketball. The shot, the long 2 right on the line. You go back a half a foot, you tie this game up.
Six to shoot. Inside 2 minutes left. Saints go down low. Ball knocked away briefly. No whistle. Defensive rebound. Now ball loose on the floor. Looking for a jump ball. They get it. Possession arrow to the Saints.
Kiana Rios, I mean, she just added a list of Saints that are leaving everything out on the floor tonight. man, I mean, that's how you win games like this. They've come up short so many times this season. They played a great first quarter against, top 10 in the country ranked Western Washington. We were here a couple weeks ago against Seattle Pacific when they narrowly lost that game. This is a Saint squad that has lost a lot of close games. They've played a lot of close games, and they are going to get every bump, scratch, bruise to get a win here tonight.
Well, it's going to be all worth it for one team, and worth it but not quite as good of a feeling for the team that does not win here this evening. And there's a turnover right back. Ball loose, knocked away. Seawolves head the other direction. 90 seconds left. 1 point ball game. A 3 by the Seawolves. No. Lauren Morris, no. Taps it. Galbraith has it.
Yeah, this is where you just take your time. You don't shoot unless you got an open look or unless there's at least single digits on the clock, maybe even less.
Ten to shoot. Galbraith with it. Splits the defenders in the lane. Too strong. Lamette battling for the rebound. Ball out of bounds. Seawolves basketball just inside 1 minute. Wow.
There's a lot of hands on that one. And right now the ref is saying, maybe we should take another look at that one. I think that's a very important call because Lamette, I think the assumption was that she touched it last, and it did look, because she was over the top of everybody, and she has such long arms. But from my perspective up here, which is right next to yours, it could have nicked a fingernail. We'll see if the camera says so on the review down there at the scorer's table.
Buckle up for a furious final minute here in Lacey. Saints by 1. Will it be Seawolf basketball? Find out next on the Saints Digital Network. .8 on the clock. A 1 point ball game inside Marcus Pavilion after the review. It is Seawolf basketball. Sean Wally, Scott Gladstone. Buckle up. Here we go. Saints in the lead. Seawolves want it back. Who will get this GNAC victory? They go down low to Fernandez, and she is fouled.
Yeah, who they calling this on? That's going to be interesting to me because they're calling it on Lauren Morris, which I really thought the only, which is her third, I really thought the only argument was to call a foul, and Lamette there maybe infringed, but something happened under the basket that we couldn't quite see. Now big free throws for Fernandez.
It's 1 to tie the game, 2 to take the lead. And that's short.
Yeah, she's only shot, coming into this game, she shot 2 free throws all year.
Wow.
And it was 1 for 2.
For a post player, that's unheard of.
Yeah, well, she also has only played in 3 games. I'm assuming injuries have plagued her.
That's short as well. Lamette gets the rebound. What's the whistle for? Official talking to Ryan McCarthy.
Saying it's my bad. Well, the frustrating thing about that, if you're Christy Martin, is now you're saying now you're going to give them a chance to set up their full court press.
Ryan McCarthy, the master of mayhem.
Timeout. They called it. Christy Martin called a timeout first. Yeah, I mean, I if I was Christy Martin, I would have taken more time to argue or at least just kind of throw a fit and say, why are you not allowing me, or why'd you blow the whistle there and allow Alaska to set up a really good full court press? And the problem is her team just wasn't ready there. But good for her to be on that, to be counting to 4, and at 4.5, she launched a timeout at the referee. And luckily, the referee standing over right on top of her had a good view of the ball being inbounded, and he had his ears open for that other whistle, as well as prepared for Christie to call a timeout on the Saints sideline.
Saints ball after the timeout. They're up 64-63. Impressive game on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, also to note, the jump ball arrow right now is with Anchorage. We'll see if that shows up. We've got a handful of jumps today. But, I mean, 4 different Saints in double figures. You got Galbraith, Rios, Lamette, and Morris. On the other side, it's Pickney, Adukovic, and Rab. And this is a Saints squad. This is Christy Martin as a head coach that is trying to do something that hasn't been done for the Saints since before her tenure. March 5th, 2014. That was the last victory the Saints have had over the Seawolves. That was all the way back when, not the last time the Saints hosted the GNAC tournament, but the time before that, in 2014, when the Saints beat the Seawolves in the GNAC quarterfinals in 2014. Since then, it's been all Seawolves, and that means throughout the entirety of Christy Martin's tenure, she's probably really trying to get this off her back and see green go down for once in her tenure.
Saints 2-6 in conference. Alaska 4-4 in conference. This could go a long way to figuring out who the top 6 could be down the road for the GNAC tournament.
Oh, they barely got that over. There was 21 on the shot clock when they got that over.
Important possession for both teams. Saints up 1. There's the mayhem trapping defense. I believe Galbraith threw it off the Seawolf, and she did.
Just got a nick. Just got a nick of a Seawolf there. That was smart play by Galbraith, and it luckily didn't backfire for SMU.
10 to shoot. Morris gets it. 6 to shoot. Shot is short. Rebound to Fernandez. The Seawolves have a chance. And a timeout is called by Ryan McCarthy. 19.1 left. The Seawolves can win it.
Yeah, the Seawolves, we're going to see how they manage this, especially with a deficit. What you do is you make sure that you give yourself a little bit more time than if it's a tie game. If it's a tie game, then you really don't want a shot going up unless there's less than 5 seconds left. With a 1-point deficit, you still want to give yourself a little chance for an offensive board or maybe a foul and then a prayer at the buzzer. But for Ryan McCarthy, I mean, really, he almost might regret calling a timeout there because the ref under the basket had a foul called, but he called that timeout first. Ryan McCarthy did. The thing to note, though, however, as the Saints have been in a similar position to this before against SBU when they were tied and SBU had 1 possession left, the Seawolves are in the bonus with the Saints having committed 4 fouls. We saw in that SBU game, Sarah Lamette was called for a foul on the low block, and that gave the win to SBU. We'll see what the Saints go with here.
If you're Coach McCarthy, who's your shooter? You got a lot of options.
I think you got to give it to Rab.
Fernandez gets it. Final 17 seconds. Rab has it. Lamette in the lane. Rab splits the defender's layup. Good. 11 exactly on the clock. Christy Martin quickly the timeout. Wow.
Yeah, said give it to Rab, give it to Rab. The Saints still switching on everything. I think they got Lamette on her and just got the proper positioning. Lamette was really trying hard not to commit a foul because I'm sure she had shades of that block that Rab was on where she got called for the foul and ended up giving up the 2 game-winning free throws. But the thing that I mentioned right before that is you also don't want to give too much time. And it's, it's not a huge chunk of time, but the Saints do have 11 seconds to try and do something with it here. We'll see what kind of play they draw up. But at the very least, if you're SMU, you got to get a shot up here. You got to, if everything kind of just hits the fan, still just let Angel Galbraith drive to the rack and see if you can get a foul call, see if you can get her to kind of loop up a ridiculous shot. But this possession right now is one of the biggest possessions of the season, if not, especially for Christy Martin, her tenure against Alaska Anchorage, trying to beg for a bucket here.
Rios to inbound. 10 seconds left. Fitting this game comes down to the end. Galbraith takes it in the lane, loses the handle. Out of bounds, apparently touched by the Seawolves. No foul called, but only 4.3 left.
Yeah, we'll see. The bench is yelling out everything. They're doing a square defensive formation. We'll see what happens with 4.3 to go.
4 seconds left. Can the Saints win it?
They called a foul. They just called a foul on Lauren Morris. But right now, if you're the Seawolves right now, you're happy to give another foul if you get it, because you have 1 foul to give on the ground. As long as it's not shooting, just be as physical as you can on that inbound, and maybe you get away with one. Who knows?
Galbraith to inbounds. Needs to get it in. Finds Rios in the lane. She's fouled and will head to the line with a chance to take the lead with just 2.4 left.
Kiana Rios said it when she took over those free throws for Ryan Clear. She came in there. She was ice cold. Now another chance for the freshman to continue to make her mark on this program.
That foul on Fernandez. Not sure how you foul anybody right there, knowing the game's on the line. Free throw good. We are tied.
Ice on free throw number 1. What you're going to see here is a timeout immediately, no matter what, whether it's made or missed, by Ryan McCarthy.
Free throw for the lead.
Sean. This is the energy is alive in this gym right now.
Full timeout, 2.4 seconds left. Do the Saints get the upset, or do the Seawolves have one more lead change and great shot left in them?
It's going to be interesting to see who the shot's drawn up for. I mentioned earlier in this game when Alaska wasn't shooting any three-pointers, that's a big part of the game. They kind of made it come through for them in the second half. They evened it out. Both teams have 7 three-pointers. You see Pickney with 3 threes. If they can spot her up, I'm sure they're willing to take that chance. But at the same time, Rab's a big body. She's got a long wingspan, and maybe try and create something for her around the rim, because if you can get a successful inbounds around the rim to Rab, she's going to have a good chance to try and fling one up there, and the refs aren't going to let something go without a foul call after they called it on the other side. They're going to make sure to be equal in terms of contact. So if you're the Saints, you just want Lamette to be stout there in the middle, to be straight up, not commit any fouls, and just switch on everything. And if they get a shot off, it should be with a Saint right in the face.
Looks like Pinckney will inbound. 2.4 on the clock.
They're setting a wall. So, yeah, Christy Martin just called a timeout to talk about it. It's, it's that 2-point conversion type situation in football. You see what one side comes out with, and you call a timeout, so then you can counteract it. We'll see if the change comes from McCarthy on the other side. But the setup that he had an inbounder, he had Evans under the basket, and then he had a wall for Evans. I was interested to see what the execution of that would be, because either you're creating Evans as a huge distraction, essentially, to say we're trying to create for her and we're trying to get Evans open for a possible last shot, or you're trying to use Evans as a major distraction and get somebody to leak off to her. Because the problem is with the Saints been switching on every screen, it's really easy if it's a one-on-one screen. The problem is if 3 players are setting the screen, the communication needs to be there. Who's switching? And if all 3 players switch, next thing you know, there's 3 players or at least 2 players open near the basket. So that's the big thing. I'm pretty sure McCarthy is trying to use Evans as a decoy here. Watch for the wall screen and then maybe Rab to leak towards the basket and try and get a pass up to her.
Here we go. Pinckney again to inbound. Cross court. Hajdukovic for 3. It's blocked. She gets it back for the win. No! St. Martin's, the upset of Alaska Anchorage, 66-65. 2 shots at the end by the Seawolves. What a game, Scott.
Yeah, look at Christy Martin hugging her coaching staff, her players, surrounding everybody, especially Shanoa Louie. It's so difficult when there's about 12 screens going on to know who is getting who on all these switches. Shanoa Louie leaked off. She had the size mismatch in the end there on her player. Can we get another look at that? The block, the game-winning block. We don't have it up, but you can feel free to just rewind to watch it. Shanoa Louie just leaked off to the player that got the inbounds, and, she just had the size. She just reached up, made sure not to commit a foul, got contact on it, and then at that point, you're just hoping that ball, when it comes back down to earth on the same Alaska Anchorage's player's hands, that she doesn't fling up a perfect shot there, because it's much easier to hit a set feet shot with 2.4 seconds or so to go than it is to catch and release with less than a half second. And Shanoa Louie, the block of a lifetime, one of the blocks that I'm sure Christy Martin and the Saints coaching staff and squad is going to remember for the rest of the season and probably, a better part of their basketball lives.
66-65. Holy smokes. The St. Martin Saints, their first victory over the Seawolves in a very, very long time, since 2014 in the GNAC tournament.
Yeah, and it was Hajdukovic that ended up getting that separation, had that shot on Shanoa Louie, and it was just a really, really good shot and finish. It was a blast to see that finish, and great defensive stand from the Saints. And Kiana Rios, what can you say about her on the other side? Ice in her veins, making all those free throws.
What a contest. 2 teams doing battle in the GNAC, proving that, hey, they both want to play in March. Saints win it 66-65. We'll see if we'll get head coach Christy Martin up here for a few happy words after this on the Saints Digital Network.
Scott Gladstone here with head coach Christy Martin after, I like to call it a monumental victory, because I believe it's the first time in your tenure that you've beaten Alaska Anchorage.
It is.
So, and it was the first time for the Saints since 2014 when the Seawolves were down in the quarterfinals, actually here in Lacey, the 2014 GNAC tournament. So a huge win kind of for the program as well. What did that, I looked specifically kind of at Shanoa celebrating with the team, but also you celebrating with your coaching staff, and, Tierney Dinadinas, who has, gone through some ups and downs with you as a player and now as a coach. What did that embrace with your coaching staff, realizing that, at the end of the day, your players outplayed, you outcoached, and you got this big win and this highlight for the program?
Yeah, just talking about them makes me a little bit emotional. My coaching staff is the ultimate ride or die. They always have my back. They have each other's back. They have our players' back, but they've been loyal through and through. I've never had so many people really in that capacity on the bench that just are so together and really buying in when it's really terrible. Usually that's when assistants start kind of backbiting and second guessing, and they've never done that. They just stay the course, and that's really what we've done throughout, is just trust this process, trust each other, trust our program and our mission and what we're actually here to do, and that's what happens. And T has been such an incredible addition to our program as a player and now as a coach.
Let's go to that last possession. Maybe we'll kind of work backwards more. But that last possession, you called a timeout after Ryan McCarthy called a timeout, drew up the initial play. You kind of got that look of what he was doing. What was your makeup kind of in the huddle, especially allowing for – I mean, it seemed like everybody had a body on them. Shanoa got the height mismatch and just got that block. What were you saying to the team trying to prepare them for that final possession?
You know, like just please no open looks. No, I thought something was going to go to the rim and try and get an and one, because they're such a great penetrating team, and I definitely didn't anticipate a flare for Hayukovic. She's a stellar player, and my amazing point guard looked over at us and said, "Guys, but we can't give up the three." And they might do that too, and so it was just a really collaborative effect out there. And we were discussing what they could be doing, and that's part of our program, is just having a bunch of leaders on the floor. And I like a lot of input from my team, and they were giving it, and we just were kind of talking it through.
On the offensive side, the game-winning points, a lot of them came from the free throw line down the stretch, and especially Kiana Rios. I mean, she was just ice in her veins at the line, making those three when she came in for Ryan Clear, and then the two that won the game.
Yeah.
What can you say? I mean, the freshman coming in here
Listen,
in front of a pep band.
I don't know if you saw me, but I got a little woozy. Like, as soon as she walked into the free throw line, I started kind of like, my legs started coming out from underneath me. I was like, and I'm like, how is she even functioning? But then I just went back to her days at Warden High School. She's a winner. I've been saying it all along, and this isn't the biggest moment she's ever had. That kid's played in front of thousands of people at the Spokane Arena and done this, and this is what she does. She is ice water in her veins. She's pretty amazing. Yeah.
Finally, just as a team, I mean, you know, we've talked before about Ryan Clear, about other players that have kind of gone through injury struggles. This team seems like a team right now that's not afraid at this point really to get injured, because they're flying on the ground for balls. They're going up, you know, they're kind of like Lauren Morris. She took that knock, she got right back up, and she waved off a sub. I mean, this win was just a scrap fest, and it was 1,000 of those jump balls and those 50-50 balls that they found a way to win. What can you say about a team that, you know, you talk about the buy-in from your coaches, have the same from the players, that they're risking life and limb out there to be able to get those plays that don't even show up in the score sheet sometimes.
Yeah, you have to hand it to Anchorage. I mean, they are such a scrappy team, and they will play every single possession. They don't take any possession off. They don't take any pass off. They just play you tough. High pressure, speed you up the entire game, and it is tough. And I wouldn't want to be a point guard trying to play against that team. And you look at what Angel did, and she really managed the game. She dictated the tempo on our end and did a fantastic job. But, you know, I was really pleased with our pursuit of the ball, going out and getting 50-50s, and just the overall want and just fearless. You know, we're at that point where we're like, okay, we don't have anything to lose. Like, we know that we don't have a lot of people that think that we're very good, and we kind of use that as our fuel. And I know we're pretty good, and I know how good we're going to be, and so we keep kind of plugging away and reiterating that to our team.
After last game, you kind of scoffed a little bit at me calling 2 games win streak. Is 3 games a win streak? And how about the zoo? Kiana. It was a Kiana.
Yeah.
It was. She made those free throws. She earned her trip to the zoo.
She was like, we're going to the zoo. I'm going to see these elephants. We're going to go to Point Defiance. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle because we have class on Monday, and so I'm kind of trying to finagle some stuff. But yeah, we are going to the zoo, and we're pretty excited about it. So
I hope Kiana buys Shanoa a stuffed animal or something at the zoo to make sure that Shanoa preserved it.
Yeah, we should get Shanoa like a stuffed elephant.
Yeah.
That would be great. Yeah,
something, or a giraffe or something. Well, whoever. I think a giraffe would be better at blocking shots, so that's why it makes sense.
Lauren Morris does not want to go to the zoo. Did you know that? Is that on brand? Are you surprised?
I don't know. I think everybody would want to go to the zoo.
No, not Lauren. She's like, I don't want to go to the zoo because she doesn't like fuzzy, like soft things. Apparently,
she just wants the ball.
She's like, yeah, you're taking time away from me making jumpers.
All right. Well, whatever works. Congrats on the win, Coach.
Thanks so much.
The final score of today's game, 66-65. The St. Martin Saints defeat the Alaska Anchorage women's basketball team for the first time since 2014, the first time in head coach Christy Martin's tenure. For Sean Wally, my name's Scott Gladstone. We'll see you on the other side of this doubleheader for Alaska Anchorage men versus St. Martin's men. If you are tuning out now, please have a great rest of your night.